This is Nick the Quick, and today is a real honor because many things happen this year in sports, as you know. We're just starting the basketball season this week, and Tony and Casey from Wall, and I'm going to have him say his last name because I know I'm going to goof it up, but that gentleman is Larkin. They won the state championship #1 out of a public school, Wall. And what was your overall record, Tone?
We finished 7-0 this year.
And how many games in the tournament?
So we had 5 regular season games, and then we had what we call it was the unofficial Shore Conference championship. I say unofficial because what they did is they put the 4 top teams in the Shore in a pod, and we ended up winning that.
Okay, and I think your toughest game, because my guys did it, was Donovan. We used to be Mondon, it used to be St. Joe's, and you had a goal line stance. Yeah, so the final game for that Shore Conference championship was against Donovan Catholic, and came down. We were up 18-15. They were driving the ball down. It came down to the goal line. It was fourth and goal from the 2-yard line with a little over a minute left, and we came up, made the stop. One of our defensive linemen, our linebacker, and then this guy to my right here, they all came in, cleaned it up, and we stopped them basically at the 6-inch line, and that sealed the deal for us. So you jammed everything, huh?
Yes.
You just blocked down. Introduce your star here.
Well, right next to me, this is our running back / wide receiver / corner / safety / everything. This is Casey Larkin, first team All-State 2 years in a row. 4-year letter winner for us, and really just one of our team captains for the past 2 years.
And the thing that you talked to me about before this interview is that he's a very nice gentleman. Talk on that.
Yeah, so I could say a lot about what he can do athletically on the field, but some of the things that I'm most proud of him about is off the field and being a leader, to his teammates and in this school and walking the hallways. So he's a great player, but he's also an outstanding young man, and he'll be going to the Service Academy next year at West Point.
And that's big stuff, Casey. You're going to West Point. It's a beautiful place.
Yeah. When
I was at Seton Hall, we played up there, and I told him Bobby Knight was the coach, and Coach K was his captain. Krzyzewski was actually a basketball player, and Bobby Knight was a crazy coach. He'll tell you.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you know he threw a chair and everything, but anyway, they were both at West Point at the same time. What made you pick West Point, man?
It came down to just obviously the school is awesome. I mean, the education, everything, you can't beat that. But also my relationship with the coaches and everything. They would check in on me a couple times a week before I even committed there, and my parents loved it. Everyone was all for it, even like 2 weeks before I even committed there and made the decision. And I'm really tight with my position coach up there, and he always checks in, asking how my family's doing, just genuine conversations, and it was just like the obvious choice.
The thing, Casey, as I was telling you before the game, probably him and I are from the same background. We were Po. We weren't from the Shore. You know what I mean? When we went up there, it was the best food we ever ate, man. Did you get a chance to eat up there yet or no?
Yeah, when I went on a visit, they had us eat up there, like after the visit and everything. Yeah, it was real good food. I mean, I can't imagine if it's gonna be under. And they have like a nutrition station in their weight room, and it's like you just grab a bag of groceries and you just throw all the protein and all that stuff in there. So it's crazy up there.
That's really funny. Tell us about the season in your perspective. I'll ask Coach, but you as a player, it's always different. People don't understand that, of the highs and lows to a coach, and the feelings of players is completely different. How did the season stack up for you?
Honestly, it was a season that I can't really describe, really. I mean, I was grateful to even play it because of the coronavirus and the pandemic going on. But also, I wouldn't have went out any other way. I mean, the way we went out, goal line stand, that's something that's like stuff in movies. Like that's something I would never even predict. And I'm just so grateful it happened to go out one last time with my best friends. I've been playing with them ever since I was 5 years old, playing flag football. And then we went out in a fashion like that. And the juniors and everything, they're going to come back next year, hopefully do the same thing. But they left me out, and our seniors on a good note.
Now you were what, 12-1 the year before?
Yep.
Now who beat you the year before?
Woodrow Wilson in the game at
Camden.
Rutgers. Yeah,
that's South Jersey. That's your area. So then you're coming back this year. How many kids did you bring back, Case?
We brought back, I think we graduated, what, 6?
Yeah, I think it ended up being 16 starters coming back we had this year.
So let me jump to coach then. Then you were expecting a good team.
You know, you can't put a price tag on experience. And when we go 12-1, we played in big games, really big games. And to bring back 16 starters that played in those type of games, it's priceless. So, you know, the expectations were high, but the challenges were even bigger. You know, to deal with the pandemic from back in March. You know, it was a challenge. On my end, every day was a challenge to make sure that I can get these guys in safely and still do what I needed to do as a coach and my staff, what we needed to do.
Tony, did you lift in this offseason with the pandemic?
So what we ended up doing, and Casey will fill you in on this too, is we ended up doing, what I did was Zoom workouts. So we did them virtually. And
they were at their house?
They were at their house. So in March 13th, school shut down. Everybody was home. We were all learning virtually. So instead of just telling these guys to go, you know, find some weights and lift on their own, you know, it was my goal. I wanted these guys to be together and have that connection the best we could during the pandemic. So I started doing virtual workouts. I started doing them with them, and it actually ended up being.
Got you in shape.
Yeah, well, it got me in shape. But it ended up being one, a lot of fun. Some days were tough, but I'm not gonna lie, they were hard workouts, but it built that bond. Nothing beats the bond in the weight room, and since we weren't allowed to be in there, this was the next best thing, and it really did. It built that bond leading into the season.
How's the weight room at the academy? Must be beautiful.
It's massive, huge, also everything you can imagine in there. I mean, there's 100 racks for maybe even each player. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Is everything basically free weights, Case?
Yeah, so I mean, they have all like the racks and stuff, mostly stuff for football. Like just all the weight room stuff that you could put in a weight room. They all have it. So
now you played 4 positions. That's very rare because most people, well, in our day, you did play both ways. Yeah. But what did you like best? What position?
I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, I love, I mean, everyone loves scoring touchdowns and everything, but I love defense. So I loved playing corner. I loved it, depending on the game plan and where our defensive coordinator, Coach Bellina, put me, and Coach Grandinetti, I kind of would just play it. So sometimes I would roll down in the box, play strong safety, or other times I'd go on their #1 receiver and guard up at corner. So, I mean, I love just playing defense. I love tackling. I've always loved defense the most.
Well, he was a fullback, so that means he used his head a lot.
Yeah.
I was a tight end, so I like defense better. At least you can get to the ball, do something, and defense is always fun.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Explain that to the people.
I mean, if you're a defensive football player, everyone wants to score the touchdowns. Like when you're growing up as a kid, you want to be that quarterback, you want to be the star in the light. But I mean, when you're playing defense and you make tackles, and it's where the tough guys are on the field. That's where I think it's the tough people, and those are the guys who are gonna put their head into you, and they're gonna go full speed right at you.
And I think that I think the defensive unit, believe it or not, always has more fun.
100%. Even at all the camps I would go to, all the defensive backs, they brought so much more energy and all that stuff. I mean, they bring an energy that the offense doesn't. I mean, I love offense, but those dudes are crazy up in the head a little bit.
They are.
Yeah.
But they love it. You know, Tony, explain this to our fans, because I know you played more than one sport. To play football, you really have to like it. People want to say, well, how come my kid can't play football?
Well, you know, it's I don't think they have to like it. You have to love it.
Love it. That's what I mean.
You have to love it because even at the high school level and here at Wall, and Casey's been here, you know, he's a senior. He played 4 years for me. This is my fourth. I just got done my fourth season. So I've had Casey for 4 years. I'm the only head coach that he's known. And Casey will vouch for me. This is 12 months out of the year for us. You know, when we're done sitting here and everyone goes on their separate ways, I go to the weight room because I'm going to have a room full of guys preparing for the next year. You know, football is more than just August to November or August to December. It's year-round. We train year-round. We lift weights. We do speed and agility. You know,
do you do bounding? One friend of mine does a lot of bounding.
Yeah, we do. We do
weight
all
strength coach.
Yeah, we do all kinds of stuff. I mean, and you know, the bond that these guys have. You know, our culture is built on the hard work that they put in the weight room. And it's, you know, it's special. It's not for everybody because it is very physically and mentally demanding. But when we get results the way we did this year, you know, I'm pretty sure everyone from this team, they'd do it all over again.
Like Charles Barkley said, he was 6'6", 250. The first time he got hit, that was it. He walked off the field. Yeah. As Coach said, Casey, you're a little young to understand this shit, but 20, maybe 10 years down the road, to play football, son, you got to love it.
Yep, you have to.
Do you play other sports or?
I did I was really a big sports guy when I was younger, and then as I kind of got to the high school, I kind of knew football was my game, and I wanted to focus on that, get bigger. I was never really blessed with being all big and have the weight and stuff, so I kind of just dedicated all my time to football because you really do have to love it, and I love it. I can't imagine myself not playing it. I used to be a baseball player. I used to play basketball. I used to run track. I used to do a lot of sports. I mean, my dad played Division I baseball, so I've always been around other sports, but when I kind of got to high school, I kind of realized like football was it, and I'm going to make it my future.
What do you think you'll play in college? What position?
Strong safety they want me at. So.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
So you will be on the defensive end of the ball.
Yeah.
Okay. And Army has been very good lately. 9-2 this year, I think, right?
Yep.
Did you see any games?
Yeah, not really. Well, not in person. I mean, I saw one when I was younger, before, but that was kind of really the only Army game I went to. But it was all from the TV this year. I know they only let cadets into the stadium for all their games. So I mean, with this pandemic, I mean, I wish I could go up there and watch a game, go on my official visit. But I guess I just got to wait for that because the pandemic's still going on and everything.
Well, I have to tell the fans out there. And I don't know if Tony ever went, but a West End weekend is an experience. When you see the cadets come out and march, did you ever see that?
Yeah, yeah.
And then they pack that stadium. It's not a big stadium now. Is it Mikey?
Yeah,
right?
Mikey Stadium. Yeah.
But they get a full house. And then guys paratroop in. You know, my friend had season tickets. We'd always go up. And when my kids were little, and it's just a beautiful situation on the Hudson.
Yep.
And you know, but it's really very, very unique. It's like a weekend at Notre Dame. Have you been to either one of them, Tony?
I haven't been to either one, but now with Casey going,
Tony.
Yeah.
You're a football man.
I'm definitely going to make it a point to get up there.
Oh my! When you see those cadets, you know, like you see it at the Army, they march. They're marching before the game. It's like, are you kidding me? And at Notre Dame, they bring all the fans in from 3 different sides with the musical sections. And all the fans march into the stadium. Now, I don't know if the cadets march it.
Yeah. Some of them do. I know some run out with the team. Like a couple of cadets run out with the team. But they do, when they're in the student section and everything, they go nuts. Like that's the best part. I mean, seeing all like the troops all in one uniform and they're just screaming and cheering for their team. It's awesome.
Well, Tony is from South Jersey like I am. See, we're Trenton. We're the halfway point, and people don't know a lot about South Jersey. They hear a lot about Camden, but he was in the triangle, we used to call it. What is it, Lenape?
It's Lenape, Shawnee, and then I went to Cherokee.
Cherokee.
Yes.
And I always thought Shawnee was the best, to be honest with you. What do you think?
I'm going to have to disagree with you. I'm going to have to go with Cherokee there.
You're going Cherokee.
I'm going Cherokee, yeah.
All right. But you guys were a hidden commodity up north here, because really we never really hear it. But when I coached Jackson, we'd always go south to play, and we get knocked off the first game. And we were the higher seed, we were this, and you guys would always beat us. But the thing that I liked about South Jersey is they put a lot of time into camps with their kids and a lot of motivational things. Come up on that.
Yeah, I think it just speaks volumes because I think with the amount of people in North Jersey, we know how good the athletics is up there, and even here in Central Jersey, South Jersey, there are good athletes, great coaches, great programs throughout this state. And, you know, New Jersey has, I think it's a hotbed of talent, athletic talent. You know, and where I came from, you know, from Cherokee, we took a lot of pride in our tradition, in our work ethic. And a lot of the principles that I learned at Cherokee, you know, I brought to me to here to Wall. And, you know, you'll see a lot of similarities between the programs.
Well, you guys, would you say you ran the ball a lot this year, right?
Wall is, for the 4 or 5 years that I've been here, I was an assistant, I was the O-line coach my first year here. We have been a run-first, power running team.
But you did have a good quarterback. My guys did some of your games. Yeah. What was his name, Peters?
Logan Peters.
Logan Peters,
Logan
yeah.
Peters, and is he going somewhere?
He's actually going to Rutgers to play lacrosse.
Yeah.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, really good lacrosse player.
Very good lacrosse player.
Yeah.
Oh, do you see that a crossover sport case lacrosse? You ever try?
I think so. That's where I think he was able to play both. I mean, he's really good at both. I think he could play Division I football if he wanted to, but lacrosse is where his heart is at, and he's really good at lacrosse. Top player across the country and everything. So, and I think he'll dominate at the next level as well at playing lacrosse.
All right, I got to ask you two guys, being the football experts. Tampa Bay, Kansas City Chiefs. Who do you like, Coach?
For me, I can't bet against Tom Brady.
I love the guy.
That's just me. That's me. You know, he's got the resume to prove it. You know, and he's got that defense playing pretty good. You know,
what in the world does he do though? He went into every game the underdog. You can't be the underdog every game. I was up with the Celtics.
Yeah.
We was always the pick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The underdog very rarely wins 3 games. Am I right or wrong?
Yep. Absolutely. But you know, an underdog playing at home in his home stadium, I wouldn't bet against.
You
him.
like that?
I like that. Yeah, I like that.
See, and everybody was giving Rodgers all the hullabaloo.
Yeah.
And they were giving Breeze all the hullabaloo.
Yeah.
And I just think he has that intangible. What do you think it is Brady has that's different? Have you had players like that and played with guys that just have that, whatever it is?
It's the it factor. It's the it
factor, right.
The guy right next to me, he has it too.
Okay.
It's the stuff that doesn't show up on a game plan. It doesn't show up on a scouting report. It's just that when the lights go on, they're ready to go. What
do you think, Case? Who do you like in this big one?
As much as I hate to say it, because I'm a Packers fan and I just lost to Tampa Bay, I just like he said, it's hard to bet against Tom Brady. I mean, just that he always comes in, always is doubted. Like, he is the most doubted player, and I feel like he uses that to his advantage. And he's in his home stadium, Tampa Bay, so it's kind of like meant to be. So I'm going to go with the Bucs.
You think Rodgers is going to stay with the Packers?
I would hope so. As a Packers fan, I really hope so. But I know he's asking for more money. I just saw that came out. He's asking for more money.
He wants more money?
Yep.
I thought he wanted more players around him.
Yeah, I mean, I thought this year was our year, and I think he thought it was our year. So I think he was pretty disappointed and upset about the loss and everything because we were so close. But I think he'll come back and be a Packer. I think we'll offer him a couple because he's our guy. He's been our guy. So.
Yeah, I hope so. Coach, why is it so important? And I don't know if this is the same in the high school level and college. Why in the pro level do they always start the game off trying to get a running game?
Well, I think the game is won and lost in the trenches. It is won and lost in the trenches. So to establish that line of scrimmage, I think is so important. I mean, we base our offense, although we do have a very good quarterback who's graduating, but we've had good quarterbacks in the past too. But I think so much is set up when you dominate the line of scrimmage, offensively and defensively. When you can control the line of scrimmage, it allows you to do much more. And whether it's high school, college, or the NFL, I think that's
Does the other team feel that? do they feel that they can't stop you?
Absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely.
And you as a coach, see, now I coached only basketball and baseball, but like you never really know in basketball because there's too much going on, you know? And in baseball, well, if you got Roger Clemens, you're not worrying. You know what I mean?
Right.
Joe Torre can have a pizza with the Polish guy. You know what I mean? But could you feel when you had that other coach?
Not so much the other coach, but just the confidence in my guys and my team. When we are executing, when we are playing at our top level, which I know we can play at, you can kind of read the signs. You know.
All right, I'm giving you the ball with 2 minutes and you're Brady. Were you feeling good or bad?
Do I have to answer that one?
Yeah. How are you feeling as a coach?
As a coach, going against Brady?
No, you are Brady and you got the ball like the Packers gave him.
Well, if we're talking strategies, you know, I wouldn't have given him the ball back.
Okay, but I'm talking now, you got it with 2 minutes, you don't have Brady. You feeling pretty good?
I don't know. I don't know about that.
Really?
With Brady?
Yeah.
With Brady, absolutely. Yeah, I'll march down the field with him.
Would you?
Yes.
So you really feel that they were going to easily run that game out?
I think so.
Okay. Because then he needed 1 first down.
Right.
And they got the holding call.
Mr. Packer, would have you made that decision to go for the field goal or the touchdown?
I mean, I say it's a tough decision. I mean, you have Aaron Rodgers as a quarterback, so I mean, it is. So before that play even happened on the 4th down to make that call, Aaron Rodgers actually could have took it and got maybe 4 or 5 yards, get us down to the 5. Then I would say go for it. But going 4th and goal from the 9. It's really a toss-up because if they don't get it, the coach is still going to get heat for not kicking the field goal because you have 3 timeouts left in over 2 minutes. But I mean,
you're a negotiator.
Yeah. So
these guys are taking a lot of heat, you know.
I think he would have got heat. I think the coach would have got heat either way.
You do.
But I mean, if you do have Aaron Rodgers, personally, I would go for it and go for the win. But you also have to get it to
thrown the ball.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think 9 yards is a lot of distance?
Mm-hmm.
You know, anytime you're inside the red zone, it's difficult to score because that red zone, that shrinks everything down. The defense is a little tighter. Everything's tightening up. But at 9 yards, it still gives you a little bit of cushion. You know, going back to the 3rd down play, you know, Casey's in my class, and, you know, the first few minutes of every class, you know, we always talk a little football.
Of course.
You know, and we were talking the other day about that 3rd down play, how, you know, where he's throwing across his body, you know, on 3rd down into the middle. If he tucked it and ran that, he's probably inside the 5-yard line, and maybe, you know, it's a different decision for the Packers coach. You know, but still, the ball in the hands of Rodgers, you know, I'm going to put it. He's the guy. He's the one you want with the ball. I'm going to put it in his hands at the end of the game.
Okay. Coach, and I know you've played sports your whole life, and I like to ask this to all of our people, and you this year, especially with Casey, gentlemen going to the academy. What do you like about sports to tell those kids?
Sports, the lessons that it teaches, the life lessons, and I try to incorporate the life lessons that football, that basketball, that any sport can teach. You know, I think it's invaluable how much we can learn from sports. You know, we can learn about winning, we can learn about losing, we can learn about working with a teammate, competition, all the things that we do, you know, after school in our games. You know, it really, you can tie it into life and use all the things that we learn in sports and apply them to your life, and I think it's going to make for successful people.
Very good. But did you enjoy sports?
Loved it.
Okay. That's what I want to hear, because those youngsters, too many kids today are home on a computer, right? My mother would have killed us, and father. What do you love about sports?
Piggybacking off of what Coach said, like the life lessons it really teaches you, and it also teaches you how to become a leader and work with others, because there's a lot of people out there who are all about themselves and they're greedy, and they're just like, what can I do to benefit off of what do I need to do to get successful. But personally, you're not going to be successful without having connections and friends and friendships, relationships, and everything, because playing sports, I think that brings everyone together and working together.
I think your sport is the ultimate team sport.
100%.
See, my sport, there was only one ball, but it's not really what you think, because it always goes to the best player. Yeah. And baseball, to me, is individual. But your sport is really team. Explain that.
It is the ultimate team sport. There has to be 11 guys working together for one goal. To get 11 guys to work together, and again, like I said, we do this 12 months out of the year. The work just isn't done in the week leading to the game. It's done, on Wednesday afternoons. That's when the work is done. But you have 11 guys working together towards a common goal. That's why I think football is definitely the ultimate.
All the cliches are really for football. The great cliches, working together, teamness, because the other sports really don't have that. Like, I always geared my son towards baseball, and he loved basketball. He had 1,000 points. But I says, Nick, no one can take the bat out of your hand. They can call you whatever they want. But like Reggie Jackson, they hated him. If you remember Reggie, he'd get up and hit a home run. That he loved him, But you guys, you have to make, and after a loss and a win in football, as you know, you're up here with a win, and everybody's down here, right? And it was so good that you guys didn't have to taste it this year. But did you ever hear of Warren Wolf, the great Warren Wolf?
Absolutely, yeah.
I knew Warren Wolf. He said losing is like getting kicked in the stomach.
Yep.
It is.
I mean, is there any worse feeling?
It is. And one thing that I always preach is, you talk about the highs and lows. And, one thing that I try, being a leader, and I try to teach these guys to be leaders, is, we can't get too high with the highs and we can't get too low with the lows. And, that's one lesson that, I think is important that I always try to instill in
tough
the
one,
players.
though.
It's tough.
Tough one with kids.
Very.
Kids want to be up here all the time, and it's tough for coaches. I always used to get up here with the win. You lose, you're in the bottom of the cellar, But, you guys did a great job today. I want to say coming number one in the state was unbelievable. Did you expect that? I'm going to finish with this. Did you expect being number one in the state?
No. You know what? We played 7 games. I wanted to compete and win 7 games. The rankings, that's for the media. It's great for for all the kids to acknowledge that. But for us, I just wanted to compete and win those 7 games.
Wonderful. I'm going to get off the air. You guys did.
So the rankings it means a little bit. Just to send me off with that. But yeah,
Great job.
Yeah.
Kids, don't watch a game from the stands or watch it from the field. Get out and participate if you can with the COVID. And make sure that you stay off that alcohol and drugs. Nick, the quick signing off. See you next week.